In the morning, I like to go to my walk-in closet office to wake up before anyone else. It's cozy, dimly lit, and quiet. I open my calendar, sip on my caffeine, and plan out my day. I don't have time for this every day, but I can feel the difference when I do. On one occasion, while waiting in the exam room for a routine doctor's appointment, my phone died. I felt anxiety creeping up on me. The room was bigger than my office, but felt claustrophobic. The silence, once calming, was now oppressive and deafening. It's the same quiet, but it might as well be another world. It's easy to get caught up in your day-to-day life, living your daily routines, going through the motions, until something hits you. Something that snaps your anchor line, rips the wheel from your hands, and forces you into unknown waters. As you regain consciousness, you are greeted by the town's mayor, who, without a moment of hesitation, frames your misfortune as an opportunity. Your boat was destroyed in the wreck, he tells you, but he has a new vessel for you. You are to work as the town's new fisherman and pay off the loan on your new boat in the process. This is not framed as a choice. Are you shipwrecked, stranded, and indebted? Or is this the fresh start you were hoping for? At any rate, it seems like the perfect deal. So why does it feel unsettling? Over the next few days, you get to know the town of Greater Marrow. Townsfolk seem gruff and no-nonsense, sometimes dropping an ominous line. It takes a certain type of person to make it out here, the fishmonger tells you. His statement comes with a silent question. Are you that kind of person? Be back by dark. That's the mayor's advice. The first time you stay out past sundown, you'll realize why. The world seems to close in on you. The once spacious bay now surrounds you. The darkness threatens to swallow your meager light and suffocate you. Your senses begin to play tricks on you. Colors swirl through the air, and you swear you can hear whispers on the wind. Rocks appear in your path as if from thin air, threatening to send your new vessel to join your old in the depths below. The next day, while fishing, you pull an aberration from the deep, a horrific fish mutated and twisted by some unknown influence. You bring it to the only place you can, the fishmonger, and he is thrilled. There's no explanation, no answers to be had. He asks you to find more of these aberrations before taking it, hurrying you outside, and locking the door behind you. Every morning in Dredge starts the same. The horrors of night flying by as time passes. Then we stop at 6 a.m. to a peaceful sunrise. The bay feels inviting, almost safe. It encourages you to forget about your troubles and get fishing. For a while, that may be enough. You may even heed the mayor's warning, pulling in before sundown to unload the day's catch, and undocking at sunrise to do it again. But before too long, fear starts to loosen its grip. You start pushing boundaries, staying out a little longer to land that last fish, or risking an afternoon voyage to visit that island in the distance. My first major journey was to the Gale Cliffs. It's quite a distance, and I had to plan ahead and take a bulk of my daylight just to make it between the two towns. As you find new areas and new fish types that your rods can't catch, you suddenly have smaller, more attainable goals. Enough money for a new rod, and for more fish. Your boat can be upgraded too. More cargo spaces, a stronger hull, or even faster engines. As you progress, the world seems to both shrink and expand. Journeys that used to take half the day are now done in a few hours. Horizons that used to be unreachable are now a possibility. Very early in the story, you obtain the equipment to dredge up materials from the sea floor. Wrecks of decades past become a new resource of wood and steel and cloth. It's around this time that a woman in town approaches you with a request. Known simply as the Builder, she has had enough of Greater Marrow and wants to make a new start. She gives you a list of construction materials she needs and asks you to drop them off on the nearby island of Steel Point. It's here, on this secluded island, that the Builder decides to begin her work. You sense she has already left Greater Marrow, simply lingering there until she can make good on her escape. You aren't told how long she's been thinking about this, but it's clear that she has a plan, and she only needs the services of a boat captain to complete it. After dropping the materials, she asks for one final favor, a ride. When you drop her off, she thanks you and says if you give her some time to build up, you're welcome back anytime. Another character can be found on a similarly empty island, but under much different circumstances. The castaway was washed overboard by a storm and has been marooned for 2 weeks. He's hungry, surrounded by flies, and it would be easy to imagine that this might be the worst moment of his life. However, when you speak to him, he asks you if the crew of his ship had sent you. When you told him they did not, he remains optimistic, saying that he's sure his boys are still out there looking. Despite his situation, he has taken what steps he can. He's constructed a crude shelter and an SOS from bits of scrap he could find, which is likely what drew you to him in the first place. He asks you to give him a lift back to civilization. He says he can join up with his crew from there. When you arrive on the docks of Little Marrow, he leaves you with his only possession of value, a signet ring, and his parting words, "On to better horizons, friend." If you play long enough, there will be a shift that happens in Dredge. For me, this is when I began working a crab pot route, placing as many pots as I could afford at both Greater Marrow and the Gale Cliffs, and traveling back and forth every few days to collect the crabs and repair the traps. It's in this kind of mundane grind that you realize the world hasn't changed, but your relationship to it has. Uncertainty has become an experience-backed faith in yourself. Anxiety has given way to a quiet competence. Isolation has become solitude.